Have you ever noticed small changes in your body and wondered if they're just normal aging or something more? As men get older, certain physical signs begin to show, some obvious, some subtle, and one you might even smell before you see. These aren't random shifts. They're clear markers of how your body adapts over time. In this video, we're diving into 4 telltale signs of aging in older men that you can't ignore. Stick around until the end because understanding these changes could reveal something surprising about yourself and empower you to take control of how you age. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you liked this video. You can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know so I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. Number 1, the unmistakable smell of aging. At the top of the list is the unmistakable smell of aging, a phenomenon that's hard to ignore once you've encountered it. If you've ever stepped into a senior living facility or spent time with an elderly relative, you might have picked up on a particular scent that seems to linger in the air. It's not a matter of poor hygiene, an overpowering cologne, or a lack of care. No, this is something far more fundamental, rooted deep within the body's biology, unfolding at the cellular level as part of the natural aging process. As men age, their skin undergoes a series of subtle, yet significant biochemical transformations. One of the key players in the shift is a compound known as nonenal, often simply referred to as nanol. This organic molecule emerges when the fatty acids naturally present in the skin begin to break down, a process accelerated by oxidative stress, a kind of cellular wear and tear caused by years of exposure to environmental factors like sunlight, pollution, and even the body's metabolic byproducts. The result is a scent that's imperceptible to some, but strikingly noticeable to others. Descriptions of nanol vary, but it's often likened to a faintly grassy, waxy, or slightly stale aroma, sometimes reminiscent of old books, weathered wood, or a room that hasn't been aired out in a while. What sets nanol apart from more familiar body odors is its stubborn persistence. Typical body odor arises when bacteria on the skin feast on sweat, producing that telltale pungent smell we associate with a long day or a tough workout. Nanol, however, operates differently. It's not just a surface-level issue that can be scrubbed away with a quick shower. Instead, this compound binds tenaciously to fabrics, embeds itself into the skin's outer layers, and resists the cleansing power of standard soaps and detergents. For aging men, this can mean catching a whiff of that distinctive scent even after a thorough wash, as though it's become a permanent passenger on their skin and clothing. The reason for this tenacity lies in how aging skin behaves compared to its younger counterpart. In youth, skin is a dynamic organ constantly regenerating itself, shedding dead cells and flushing away excess oils and impurities with relative ease. But as the years pile on, this process slows. The skin's natural defenses weaken, its ability to repair itself diminishes, and those oxidized fatty acids, the precursors to nanol, start to accumulate. With less frequent cell turnover and a decline in the skin's oil-regulating mechanisms, the scent becomes more pronounced, a subtle but persistent marker of time's passage. Consider Richard, a 74-year-old retired mechanical engineer from Ohio. As a case in point, a meticulous man by nature, Richard prided himself on his clean habits and orderly life. Yet a few years ago, he began to notice something odd. His freshly laundered shirts carried a faint, lingering scent that he couldn't quite place. At first, he chalked it up to an old bottle of cologne gone off, or perhaps a change in his laundry detergent. He experimented with new brands, switched to unscented products, and even aired his clothes outside on the line. Yet, the scent remained. Then one afternoon, his 7-year-old granddaughter, during a visit filled with hugs and storytelling, piped up with an innocent observation. "Grandpa, you smell like books and wood." It was a light bulb moment for Richard. The scent wasn't coming from his environment. It was coming from him, his skin, after decades of faithful service. His skin had begun to tell a new story through its chemistry. Richard's experience isn't unique. Scientific studies have pinpointed nonenal as a compound that starts to appear in trace amounts after age 40, triggered by the gradual decline in the body's antioxidant defenses. by the time men reach their 70s or beyond. The production ramps up, and the scent becomes far more detectable to both the individual and those around them. Researchers in Japan, where the compound was first identified, have even dubbed it the aging odor, noting its prevalence in older populations. For some, it's a mild curiosity. For others, it's a source of self-consciousness. But the silver lining? While nanol production can't be halted entirely, after all, aging is an unstoppable force. There are ways to manage its buildup and mitigate its effects. Specialized soaps formulated to tackle excess oils and oxidative residues can make a noticeable dent in nonenal's presence. Unlike regular body washes, which might merely mask the scent with fragrance, these products work to break down and lift away the compound from the skin surface. Diet plays a role too. Foods rich in antioxidants. Think vibrant citrus fruits, earthy green tea, or nutrient-packed leafy greens like kale and spinach can help counteract oxidative stress at its source, potentially slowing the rate at which nanol forms. And since this tricky compound loves to cling to textiles, a little extra care in the laundry room can go a long way. Adding a scoop of baking soda to the wash, using vinegar as a rinse, or spritzing clothes with odor-neutralizing sprays designed specifically for aging-related scents can help strip fabrics of that lingering waxy note. So, if you've ever caught a whiff of something unfamiliar in the mirror or on a loved one and wondered where it came from, now you have your answer. It's not a figment of your imagination, nor is it solely a question of hygiene habits. It's a natural byproduct of the body's journey through time, a quiet signal that the skin you've lived in for decades is adapting to a new chapter. Every older man at some point will encounter this shift. It's not a flaw or a failing, just a fact of life as inevitable as the gray hairs or the lines etched by laughter and experience. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 2, a bigger belly that won't budge. A bigger belly that refuses to budge is often one of the most noticeable and frustrating signs of aging for men. It's not just a matter of indulging in a few extra slices of pizza or skipping the occasional gym session. There's far more at play beneath the surface. As men age, a cascade of physiological changes conspires to make the midsection a magnet for fat accumulation, turning what was once a trim waistline into a growing challenge. The root of this shift lies in the natural slowdown of metabolism that accompanies aging. As the years pile on, muscle mass, once a reliable calorie-burning engine, begins to diminish. This decline is compounded by hormonal shifts, particularly a gradual drop in testosterone levels, which plays a key role in maintaining lean muscle and regulating fat distribution. With less muscle to burn calories and a metabolism that's losing steam, the body becomes far more efficient at storing excess energy as fat, and the abdomen becomes its favorite storage spot. You might find yourself wondering why. Even though your eating habits haven't changed much since your 40s or 50s, your pants keep feeling tighter around the waist. That's the sneaky reality of aging at work. What once worked to keep you trim no longer cuts it. Take Frank, for example, a 76-year-old who prided himself on staying lean well into his middle years. He wasn't a gym fanatic, but he ate sensibly and stayed active. Yet, seemingly out of nowhere, he started noticing a protruding belly that stood in stark contrast to his thinning arms and legs. At first, he chalked it up to just getting old, but there was more to it than that. His body was undergoing a subtle but significant redistribution of fat, favoring the abdomen while muscle withered elsewhere. It wasn't just about how he looked in the mirror, either. Frank found that tying his shoes felt more laborious, his favorite shirt strained the buttons, and even walking uphill left him more winded than it used to. This isn't just a cosmetic issue, it's a health concern with real consequences. Research consistently shows that excess abdominal fat in older men isn't benign. Unlike subcutaneous fat that sits just under the skin in other areas, visceral fat, the kind that wraps around internal organs in the belly, is metabolically active. It turns out inflammatory compounds that wreak havoc on the body, raising the risk of serious conditions like heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and even cognitive decline, are released from visceral fat. Men in their 70s and 80s with larger waistlines often report higher levels of exhaustion, nagging joint pain, and restless nights, all of which can trace their roots back to that stubborn belly fat. It's not just about vanity, it's about vitality. So, what can be done to fight back against this relentless midsection creep? It's not about quick fixes or crash diets. Those rarely work and often backfire. Instead, the key lies in tackling the underlying causes first. Resistance training is a game changer. Lifting weights or doing bodyweight exercises like push-ups and squats can help rebuild lost muscle mass, revving up the metabolism, and making it harder for fat to take hold. Second, rethinking your plate is crucial. Prioritizing protein, think lean meats, eggs, or legumes, helps preserve muscle while keeping hunger at bay, making it easier to avoid overeating. Third, cutting back on processed carbs and sugary treats can stabilize insulin levels, which, when spiked, signal the body to store more fat in the belly. While a little extra padding around the middle might be an inevitable part of growing older, letting it spiral out of control doesn't have to be. If you caught your reflection and notice your waistline creeping outward despite sticking to your usual routine, don't dismiss it as a trick of the mind. It's your body responding to the natural ebb and flow of hormones and muscle mass that define the aging process. Taking action now can mean the difference between a manageable change and a health risk that shadows your later years. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 3, the mystery of growing ears. Here's a quirk of aging you might not have seen coming. Your ears don't stop growing as you get older. While muscles shrink and fat shift around, your ears quietly defy the trend, expanding in size well into your golden years. It's not a dramatic overnight transformation, but over time, the change becomes impossible to ignore, and it's not just your imagination playing tricks on you. The culprit behind this phenomenon is cartilage, the flexible, resilient tissue that shapes the outer ear. Unlike most of the body's tissues, cartilage doesn't call it quits with age. Instead, it keeps growing, albeit slowly, throughout your life. Add to that the relentless pull of gravity, which tugs the ears downward year after year, stretching them out and amplifying their size. The skin around the ears doesn't help matters either. As it loses elasticity with age, it offers less resistance to this downward drift, making the ears appear longer and droopier. If you've ever flipped through an old photo album and done a double take at how much smaller your ears looked decades ago, you're not alone. Research backs this up. Studies estimate that ears grow by about 0.8 inches per decade, meaning that by the time a man hits his 70s or 80s, his ears can be significantly larger than they were in his youth. Consider George, a 78-year-old retired teacher with a sharp memory and a knack for storytelling. One afternoon, while sorting through a box of keepsakes, he stumbled across a black and white photo from his wedding day 50 years earlier. He barely recognized the groom staring back at him, not because of the hair or the smile, but because of the ears. Back then, they were neat and proportionate, blending seamlessly with his features. Now, they were longer, wider, and noticeably droopier, with earlobes that had thinned out and stretched like taffy over time. George couldn't help but laugh at the discovery, but it stuck with him. He started paying attention and realized that his hearing aids, once a snug fit, now sat a little differently, a subtle clue to the ongoing growth. This ear expansion is a near universal experience among older men, yet it's rarely a topic of conversation. While cartilage growth drives the process, the loss of collagen and elastin in the surrounding skin accelerates the effect, leaving ears looking more prominent with each passing decade. For some, it's just a quirky badge of aging, like crow's feet or a silver mane. For others, it can spark a twinge of self-consciousness, especially if they catch their profile in a mirror and wonder when their ears decide to take center stage. Is there anything to be done about it? Not much can halt the cartilage's slow march forward. That's just biology at work. But there are ways to soften the visual impact. Keeping the skin around your ears healthy and elastic can make a difference. Staying hydrated, Eating foods rich in collagen-boosting nutrients like vitamin C and omega-3s, and shielding your ears from sun damage can slow the sagging. For earlobes that look thin or wrinkled, a dab of moisturizer or a vitamin-packed serum might plump them up and improve their texture. Sure that embracing the change with a sense of humor might be the best approach. After all, bigger ears don't mean better hearing, but they're proof you've been around long enough to earn them. Ultimately, growing ears are as natural as the lines on your face or the gray in your beard. They're not a health hazard, just a gentle reminder from nature that even as other parts of you wind down, your ears are still tuning into the world around you. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 3 below to let me know you're here. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 4, the disappearing calves. As men journey through the years, one of the most striking and often unexpected transformations occurs in the lower extremities, particularly the calves. Picture this. One day, you glance down at your legs and notice that the once robust, well-defined calves took pride and have suddenly diminished in both shape and size. This isn't merely a matter of shedding a few pounds or a trick of the eye. It's a telltale sign of aging known as muscle atrophy, a process where muscle mass gradually erodes over time, leaving behind a shadow of its former glory. This phenomenon doesn't strike out of nowhere. It's driven by a combination of biological and lifestyle factors. First, there's a hormonal shift. As men age, levels of testosterone and growth hormone, key players in muscle maintenance and repair, begin to wane. This decline tips the balance, causing the body to break down muscle tissue faster than it can regenerate it. Second, activity levels often taper off, sometimes so subtly that it goes unnoticed. Even if you're still diligent about taking your daily walk, the intensity and variety of movement may not match the demands of your younger years. Think running sprints, leaping over obstacles, or hauling heavy loads. Without these dynamic challenges, the calf muscles simply aren't called into action as they once were. Sure that embracing the change with a sense of humor might be the best approach. After all, bigger ears don't mean better hearing, but they're proof you've been around long enough to earn them. Ultimately, growing ears are as natural as the lines on your face or the gray in your beard. They're not a health hazard, just a gentle reminder from nature that even as other parts of you wind down, your ears are still tuning into the world around you. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 3 below to let me know you're here. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 4, the disappearing calves. As men journey through the years, one of the most striking and often unexpected transformations occurs in the lower extremities, particularly the calves. Picture this. One day, you glance down at your legs and notice that the once robust, well-defined calves took pride and have suddenly diminished in both shape and size. This isn't merely a matter of shedding a few pounds or a trick of the eye. It's a telltale sign of aging known as muscle atrophy, a process where muscle mass gradually erodes over time, leaving behind a shadow of its former glory. This phenomenon doesn't strike out of nowhere. It's driven by a combination of biological and lifestyle factors. First, there's a hormonal shift. As men age, levels of testosterone and growth hormone, key players in muscle maintenance and repair, begin to wane. This decline tips the balance, causing the body to break down muscle tissue faster than it can regenerate it. Second, activity levels often taper off, sometimes so subtly that it goes unnoticed. Even if you're still diligent about taking your daily walk, the intensity and variety of movement may not match the demands of your younger years. Think running sprints, leaping over obstacles, or hauling heavy loads. Without these dynamic challenges, the calf muscles simply aren't called into action as they once were. Third, the aging circulatory system plays a role. Blood flow to the lower legs can diminish over time, depriving muscles of the oxygen and nutrients they need to thrive, which accelerates their decline. Consider Robert, a a 75-year-old retiree with a story that might sound familiar. For decades, he worked a job that kept him on his feet. Think of a mail carrier trudging through neighborhoods or a warehouse worker hefting boxes. His calves were a point of pride, sculpted and sturdy from years of constant use. But as he entered his late 60s, he began to notice a change. The muscle that once bulged beneath his skin had softened and shrunk, leaving his legs looking thinner and feeling weaker. Everyday tasks that he once breezed through, climbing a flight of stairs, rising from a low chair without gripping the armrests, or even standing for long periods, became noticeably more taxing. At first, he brushed it off as an inevitable part of getting older, but the reality was more specific. His calf muscles were atrophying, a result of both reduced physical activity and the hormonal shifts that come with age. The loss of calf muscle isn't just a cosmetic concern. It carries practical, even profound, implications for health and quality of life. Strong calves are the unsung heroes of mobility, providing the power to push off with each step and the stability to keep you upright. When they weaken, balance suffers. The risk of stumbling or falling increases. Climbing stairs and even your walking pace can slow to a shuffle. Research backs this up. Studies have consistently found that men with diminished calf muscle mass face greater challenges with mobility as they age, turning routine activities like carrying groceries or navigating uneven terrain into daunting obstacles. The strength of your lower body, particularly the calves, is one of the most critical predictors of how long you'll maintain independence in your later years. But here's the silver lining. This decline is an irreversible sentence. With intentional effort, you can slow the process and even reclaim some of that lost muscle. It doesn't require a gym membership or Herculean feats, just consistent, targeted action. Exercises like calf raises, where you simply lift your heels off the ground and hold a contraction, can reawaken those muscle fibers. Pair that with resistance band workouts to add a gentle challenge, or try brisk walking on an incline, say a hilly park trail or a treadmill set to a slope, to boost both strength and circulation. Beyond movement, nutrition plays a starring role. Protein is the building block of muscle. So ensuring your diet includes ample sources. Think lean cuts of chicken, eggs, fish, or plant-based options like lentils and tofu can fuel repair and growth. Pair that with adequate hydration and rest, and you've got a recipe for resilience. So, while the disappearing calves may sneak up on you as the years roll by, they don't have to vanish entirely. With a little awareness and effort, you can keep those muscles engaged, your steps steady, and your independence intact for years to come. If you've noticed your calves looking thinner or feeling weaker, don't ignore it. This is one of those aging signs that can be improved with effort, and taking action now can help keep you strong and mobile for years to come. Now that we explored these 4 subtle yet telling signs of aging in older men, it's time to reflect. What have you learned so far? Maybe it's the surprising science behind that unmistakable scent, the stubborn belly fat you can tackle, or how your ears and calves reveal the passage of time. We'd love to hear from you. Please comment below with one thing you've learned today and how you plan to bring it into practice in your life. Your thoughts inspire us to keep creating content like this. If you like this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support helps us continue delivering insights to inform and empower you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.